Hi, I'm Congressman Steve King. This is my 13th year in Congress, so over time you pick up a few things. George Bud Day, born in Sioux City, Iowa, grew up there. At the time of his passing, he was the most decorated living American warrior. I started a construction company 40 years ago. My oldest son was 11 years old. You needed to be 12 to go into the proving grounds, the Caterpillar proving grounds, and that little guy got to go up on this tracks and in the cab. Today he owns that company that I started. This knife was presented to me by the Commandant of the Iraqi Navy. And this is a real knife, a sharp knife, and I often joke that it's a ceremonial beheading knife, and that was my joke before that got to be a more serious proposition in the Middle East. This is a piece of the Berlin Wall. This was chopped out of the Berlin Wall east of the Brandenburg Gate on September 12th, 1990. The bust of George Washington was presented to me by my first chief of staff. When I would sit in my desk and look up at General Washington, I would see that he was averting his eyes. So I made him move the platform over here, and we set him up where now he gazes over on the work we're doing, hopefully with approval. And these are some of the books that I've accumulated over the years. Probably qualifies by now as a library. Here is just a framed work of the work that we did, Dr. Norman Borlaug, to establish his statue here in Statuary Hall. He's credited with saving 1 billion lives with the work that he's done on wheat. This picture of Ellis Island shows an immigration hearing. It was the 100-year anniversary of the largest single day that we've ever had in bringing legal immigrants through Ellis Island. I've always admired New Hampshire's state motto. Our state motto is, "Our liberty we prize and our rights we will maintain," which is, I think, close to the politically correct version of live free or die. This shows what we do here in this Congress. The original of this that I had now is in the office of Indiana Governor Mike Pence. We'd be over on the floor debating an issue, and he would look over at me during one of those times, and he would go like this and smile at me. I carry an acorn around in my pocket every day, and I do that because some years ago, I had enough intelligence on what was going on with the organization called ACORN, and that I brought an amendment to the floor that cut off all funding to ACORN or their affiliates. Well, eventually, we did shut off all the funding to ACORN. I carry this to remind me what they tried to do to our electoral process. This is a leather-bound New Testament version Bible that was presented to my 5 times great-uncle John Richardson. He carried this Bible in his shirt pocket for 3 years in the Civil War. This is from Tibet. It's a Buddhist prayer wheel. You see people walking around and they're swinging that prayer wheel. Congressman Louie Gohmert and I decided that while we're in Tibet, why wouldn't we climb a mountain in the Himalayas? And I made a cross out of stone on top of that mountain. And when Louie got to the top of the mountain, there I sat. I had planted an American flag there with the cross, and I had a bottle of Great Wall Red Chinese wine and 2 cigars. Louis is, he's a Baptist and not a drinker at all, but he looked up at me with that bottle of wine and he said, Christ's first miracle.